Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. Before we get into today's nitty gritty, I want to let you know of a certain development. I appeared on Thogden's channel. Yes, if you know Thogden, great. If you don't, I'm surprised, especially after he has just hit 500,000 subscribers. Absolute beast. Congratulations to Theo. He brought me on the channel to help out with the Champions League second leg predictions, not just for Chelsea against Atletico, but all the predictions for all the other games. Real Madrid against Atalanta, Bayern Munich against Lazio, Manchester City against Borussia Mönchengladbach. I popped on there, gave my predictions. If you haven't seen it already, be sure to click it and check it out after you are done with this, and give him the support as well. Thank you for having me on, Theo, much appreciated. Before we get into our nitty gritty though, I want to ask you guys, if you are new, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Let's get into today's nitty gritty. So we've seen the reintroduction of Kai Havertz into the Chelsea team, and for many people, everyone's quite ecstatic about it. Everyone's quite happy to finally see him back into the team, and not only back into the team, but against Everton, we saw him play brilliantly well. Got a goal pretty much, even though it wasn't technically his, but stuff the official narrative. For us, it was a Havertz goal. And then he won the penalty. It wasn't an assist, but technically he won the penalty, so you know what I mean. We're going to give him the assist just because we feel like it. But anyway, he had a blinder. Absolute brilliant game. Last game against Leeds United, not his best game, even though, so be it, he was up front as a false nine, you could say, and not really getting much. And the couple of times that he did get service on a plate, he didn't exactly do much with it. One example being when he was pretty much 2 meters away from the goal line and just whacked it straight at the goalkeeper, went over for a corner. So, you know, you've got to be clinical, but that's not a Havertz problem, that's a Chelsea problem at the moment. Whoever we stick up front just can't seem to find the net. He's come back in and he's actually looked impressive. He's looked good, and long may that continue, but we've heard from the man himself. Yes, Kai Havertz has spoken about his time coming back into the team, where he is now, and he's had a couple of things to say. Let's check it out and dive in. Here it is. Corona is now over. I feel good. I had an injury in the past few weeks, but it's now time to play good. I have to improve. It has been difficult to change everything, but I'm 6 months here and getting used to the place, to the country. And that's good to hear. You know, we've all kind of said, or many of us have said, that eventually, once he does begin to settle, we're going to see Kai Havertz show up. And even so, we've seen him now, and he's back into the Chelsea team, and he's playing frequently again. We'll see what happens on Wednesday against Atletico Madrid, but I suspect now Kai Havertz will be an integral part of the team. I still don't think he's fully settled yet. I am going to wait until next season, and I've said this about Timo Werner, about him, Kai Havertz, and Hakim Ziyech. All three of those lads, I'm waiting until next season, because for anyone that comes into the Premier League for the first time, it's only right that you allow them 1 season to fully adjust. And I don't just mean settle to the country, to the environment. I mean to the speed of the game, the physical nature of the league. You know, there are things, the intensity, the schedule. We don't have a Christmas break, even though, you know, Corona's kind of done a madness for everyone, not just us. But there's a certain element of grace that I think we need to give to players that come into the Premier League for the first time, regardless of how good they are. But even so, even if they come into the Premier League and shine immediately, then they're special. So next season, I will fully judge Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech, but I am quite certain, and I'm quite sure in myself, and if I get this prediction wrong, then so be it, I'll eat my words, but I am quite certain that we are going to see all three of them at the top of their game from next season onwards, after a full pre-season at Chelsea, and they know exactly what to expect, and their physical nature improves, their levels improve, everything improves, as well as that the psychological factor of them settling in England and settling in the Premier League and settling at Chelsea, settling in London, all of that is fully out of the window now, fully done. I expect them to be completely in their elements, and Kai Havertz included. So next season we will see. But it's nice to hear from Kai Havertz that he is now, after 6 months, really starting to click and starting to get back into the rhythm of things, especially after the absence that he had Good to hear. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully he can have an impact right away. We know Atletico on Wednesday, top 4 in the Premier League. Who knows where we might go in the FA Cup, the Champions League. We'll see what happens, but hopefully Kai Havertz will have a big part to play. Let's move over to our gaffer, Thomas Tuchel, because he's spoken and he's had a couple of things to say in the light of rumours connected to Mr. Erling Haaland. I think we can all agree he is the one man that every single Chelsea fan under God hot sun wants at the club. And Tuchel, I suspect, is no different, but he hasn't made it obvious. Let's hear what he's had to say. Here it is. We're still looking for the breakthrough, for 1 or 2 guys to go on a run and score consistently. There's no need now to reflect for the summer or reflect on solutions other than the solutions that we have. We have guys we are happy with. And then it goes on to say in Mundo Deportivo that Thomas Tuchel dreams of signing Erling Haaland. But anyway, Mundo Deportivo, a Spanish national newspaper, tabloid if I'm not mistaken, so, we'll take it with a pinch of salt. However, I am quite sure, not just Thomas Tuchel, but any manager in the world would want Erling Haaland as their dream. I think that's safe to say. Now, in terms of what he has said for this season, I fully back it, and I fully agree. I fully understand where he's coming from, and he's right. You can't get carried away, especially with something that you don't have. Haaland's not a Chelsea player. Right now, we need to focus on getting top 4, hopefully going on a run in the Champions League and the FA Cup. And who knows where we might end up, especially if we beat Atletico on Wednesday, or at least if we knock Atletico out on Wednesday in the second leg. If we do so, we move on to the quarterfinals. You never know. You never know. But we can only use players that we have. Erling Haaland, we don't have yet. And that's going to come after all this is said and done. So, if it does happen, that is. If it does, it's going to be the summer window. So we'll see what happens when it gets to it. But right now, Thomas Tuchel, especially as the manager, can only focus on the players that he has available, who's clicking, who's not, what's working, what isn't. Right now, in terms of scoring goals, it doesn't seem like anything's working. However, we have had games this season under Thomas Tuchel where despite us not scoring loads of goals, we win games. And even though we drew 0-0 against Leeds, with pretty much the same sort of mistakes and issues that we've been facing in many games this season, it's nice to see that we can claw a 1-0. We can get a 2-0. We can get those sort of results when we really need it and when we want it. But right now, the objective is hopefully to just get 3 points every single game and hopefully get top 4. That is what we need. Regardless if it's 1-0, 2-0, 5-0, 7-0, 10-0. We need 3 points in each game, and then we can worry about boosting our front line when it comes to it in the summer transfer window. But right now, we need to try and find a solution ASAP as to what is getting us goals and how can we go about it to get these lads clicking in terms of putting the ball in the net, or at least working the goalkeeper. And by working the goalkeeper, because I've said this for a few videos now, I don't mean just shoot for the sake of shooting and hit it straight at the goalkeeper. That's not working the goalkeeper. To work the goalkeeper means you got to make him work, which means you got to move him. You got to get him to move out of his position and not just stay in the middle where he is and the ball comes to him. That's not working the goalkeeper. It means having to make him dive. It means having to make him reach. We're not doing that. We need to somehow try and get these lads to aim and get accuracy on their shots. Proper precision on their shots with the power needed to beat goalkeepers. It's gone down to the basics now in terms of shooting, or at least not just that, but creation of chances. Being able to have someone in that midfield that can supply the killer ball, that can supply in the final third, that can create something out of nothing to get someone in on goal. We're not doing any of that. It seems like our chemistry is completely off when it comes into the final third at the moment, unlike at the back, where our chemistry is so high right now, we're struggling to concede goals. We can't concede goals. Well, I say that, probably Wednesday comes along and Luis Suarez sticks it into the net. But God forbid, fingers crossed he doesn't. But anyway, we need to sort that issue out. We need to. So that is what Thomas Tuchel needs to think of. That is what him and his staff need to try and find a solution to and get the lads doing it in training. That way they can apply it on match day. Hopefully we get that done. We'll see what happens. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think in regards to Kai Havertz and his comments. alongside that Thomas Tuchel and his comments in relation to not necessarily thinking of Erling Haaland now, but maybe in the summer. We'll see what happens. Let me know. I would love to hear it. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit that notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Don't forget to check my appearance on Theo's channel over here. Much appreciated. Once again, thank you to Theo and to Thogdad for having me on. And be sure to keep your eyes peeled for tomorrow, because tomorrow is the preview to our biggest game in, I want to say, maybe 5 seasons. You know, last 16, we're in the first leg, 1-0 up, over to the second leg now against Atletico Madrid at home. Can we knock them out and get our quarter-final place for the first time since 2014? Can we do that? Watch the preview tomorrow and I will fill you in. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Have a good one. Look after yourself. See you tomorrow. Take care and peace.